That's the debate about alcohol and its sale and distribution at a conceptual level. But what is it going to do practically in terms of how things play out on the ground? eNCA's Slindelo Masikane is in Alexandra to find out how some liquor outlets are reacting to the restrictions. And Masego Ratlaga also joining us and checking in on liquor outlets, particularly here in Johannesburg on Collet Drive. Let me start with you, Slindelo Masikane, out in Alexandra Township. So some restrictions being introduced by the President in terms of the hours of trade for liquor outlets, in that there'll be specific hours during the week, no sales over the weekend. How's the news being received where you are?
Well, Tulas, very mixed reactions here on the streets of Alexandra in terms of the lockdown level 1 regulations that aren't new but only going to be enforced, and a few changes, like you've mentioned, in terms of the liquor trading hours, as well as the hours which taverns, chisanyamas, as well as restaurants will be able to operate in. And, people are seemingly quite actually appreciative as well as relieved that the President didn't announce quite harsher restrictions, more harsher restrictions rather, and saying that, it seems like Christmas as well as the festive season has possibly been saved by the President by announcing just more stricter regulations and appealing to South Africans to adhere to the regulations by, adhering to the basic COVID-19 protocols like wearing your mask, sanitizing, as well as washing your hands. Now I'm outside one of the most popular, I think, taverns as well as restaurants here in Alexandra. It's called Litabong. Much earlier on we were at Joe's Butcher as well, and as you'd understand, that taverns open quite later in the day, so many of them in and around the township are still closed. But I just want to bring in one of the residents of Alexandra to just talk to us around the regulations. Baba unjani? Ngiyaphila baba, ngicela ungitshele ukuthi umzwile uPresident izolo, uzizwa kanjani ngokuthi utheni?
For me, na speech saka President ngisithola se right akayanga ku harsh lockdown, At the moment, actually, we don't need the harsh lockdown. We need people to start working, especially as of next year, 2021. Because most of the people here in Alexandra, they lost their jobs. You know what I mean? But for the President's speech last night, I think everything is been appreciated.
I see you're wearing your mask, but many of the residents here in Alexandra, they're not wearing their masks. What do you think the problem is?
No, like the President said last time when he said, no, it's in our hands. So, yeah, right. Whoever is not wearing the masks, I mean, it's up to them, because actually we must respect whatever the President have said last night. If maybe there is something that we can do to force the people to, I mean, this is not difficult to do. Wear a mask, sanitize, social distancing. I mean, I've seen this through pilots. It's just simple. Then this is okay, last one.
And then people want to travel. Do you think it's advisable for them to travel, even though the President says you can do it, but it's at your own risk?
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. I mean, 2020, it's like, I don't know. I mean, and this is not the right time to travel, even overseas. It's not like the right time to travel. Like Nalori Pando, Minister of whatever he said, no, it's not the right travel. What more if you go to Italy, and then while you are there, Italy applied the strict COVID regulations, and then they lock the country down. So you find yourself stranded in Italy. So you come back and say the government of South Africa.
So if you could speak to your fellow South Africans, what would you say to them right now?
No, right now we must respect whatever the President have announced last night. I mean, it's not something difficult to do. We can do that, and then we will survive this pandemic.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
all right, stay safe. All right, Tulas, those are just one of the sentiments from one of the residents here in Alexandra, really appealing to other South Africans as well to adhere to these regulations, and saying that those stricter protocols that the President has put in place are welcome.
Yeah, let me take you to Masego Ratlaga on Collet Drive here in Johannesburg. And Masego, this is a far cry from where we were before, right, in terms of the almost complete suspension of sales of alcohol and even stricter restrictions. But we will continue to have on-site and off-site consumption of alcohol. How is that being received where you are?
Well, Thulasize, really just a lot of Gauteng residents and ordinary South Africans saying that they did expect what the president announced last night. Some of them actually saying that they expected him to announce more harsher restrictions. Of course, this ban on alcohol, or rather this restriction on the sale of alcohol, it's only being sold between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, is something that South Africans are not too sad about. We've been through it before. It just means that you need to be at the stores by Thursday to get the alcohol that you're going to have at home. But also, restaurants will still be able to sell you alcohol as you sit there to enjoy your time. So South Africans saying it's not as bad, especially because during that time, not only did it take away the fun, as they say, it also took away some people's livelihoods. Some people lost their jobs. Some people even lost their businesses. So here at Ultra Liquors, Thulasize, they are only allowing a certain number of customers at a time. As you heard, those are one of the rules announced by the president after the advice he received from the Command Council that only a certain number of people are allowed inside confined places at a time. This, of course, doesn't have too much ventilation. There are no windows. So that's one of the things that they told us they do, social distancing. You're not allowed to be too close to each other. And they ask their customers to please get out as quickly as possible. Let's try one of the customers that I'm seeing here. I'm hoping he'll be okay to speak to us. Sir, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You're live on eNCA.
Wow.
You heard the president speak to us yesterday.
Yes.
Some restrictions were obviously imposed. Not too bad, though.
No, I think the difficult thing from right now is to find the balance between saving lives and keeping the country healthy, yet keeping the economy going. And I think we all need to respect what he said, take cognizance of the seriousness of the matter. Otherwise, come January, we could find ourselves in hard lockdown again, and I don't think anybody wants that.
Exactly. Just tell me, were you planning to go on holiday? If yes, are you still going? Or are you one of those South Africans who feels as though Gauteng and Johannesburg specifically will be safer than going out into the coast, for instance?
No, I'm staying in Gauteng, getting married early next year, so I've got a lot to take care of here in Gauteng, luckily. But a lot of friends I know are away down in the Eastern Cape along the Garden Route, and obviously last night's message was a little disappointing, but they'll make other provisions and they'll enjoy the holiday with or without the beaches. And I guess everybody's in need of a break after what's been a pretty difficult year for everybody.
Well, congratulations on the step you're about to take with your fiancé. Of course, yesterday's announcement, a lot of people were anxious, and as you say, you don't want to get into the new year having to have that level 5 type of lockdown. And I'm sure you were praying that that doesn't happen because, of course, you have a wedding to celebrate.
That's right. Yeah, thanks very much. And just a message to everybody, just stay safe, be vigilant, be wise, and let's all work together to make this a healthy and happy country.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. So, well, this is one of the customers here at Ultra Liquors. Same message from South Africans, really. I think it really resonated with a lot of South Africans when the president said two things. One was that this would be the last Christmas for many South Africans if we don't start being responsible. Two was that he said, please, can we try and just ring in the new year together?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. That's eNCA's Masego Ratlaga, as well as Slindelo Masikane, with those updates there about the situation as it translates on the ground following that announcement by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Always beautiful hearing the vox populi, the voices of ordinary South Africans interpreting the key events of the day through their own eyes, how their lived reality is going to be impacted by some of the decisions that are taken at a policy level. Always beautiful to see that.